Go ahead and start off on the monologue because, well, yeah, we got a decent amount to cover, and of course, we got some things to go back over. So, of course, we want to start at what we were, I guess, what we started at the top of the stream. Now, Trump. I do hope that due to the election loss on the 5th, that Trump is actually, starting to curve his course, starting to focus more about affordability than what's going on in Israel. But as you've seen, it seems like Israel always draws attention to itself. And I mean by bombing southern Lebanon. Now we might actually have to get involved with that. I hope not. I hope Israel can handle this on themselves, but hopefully they don't allegedly pull a move like they did with Iran by threatening to nuke Lebanon unless we get involved. Hopefully we're not being held hostage like that. I hope it's not true, but you never know these days. Trust me. I heard Nixon was hit with the same threat. Now, let's get over to ICE. It's kind of funny how everybody's still demonizing ICE and all this crazy stuff. And the church trying to say that, oh, they're trying to separate families and we're cruel and all this good stuff just for wanting the American people to prosper. Like, that's really what it's all about. Like, there is no hatred for the Mexicans, Haitians, nobody. We don't hate these guys, but they do cause a strain on our resources. They do keep wages low. And right now, that's one of the main things we need to make it out this hole we call inflation is the raising of wages. So anybody who's here for keeping these illegals or providing mass amnesty, or that's not the way, because all we're going to do is just add more people to the workforce, which is just going to stagnate wages, either stagnate them or keep them low. So is that what we want? Of course not. So I always ask the Dems, I'm like, I got to take a pick. It's either us or them. Is either you guys get that wage, you guys either get the wage raises you want, or we keep it at the same level and you just letting a whole bunch of illegals since you have such a big heart for them. I mean, cool, bro. If that's how you feel, it is what it is. But just don't ever call yourself America first or pro-American, because you're obviously pro illegal immigrant. That's just what you want to do. I mean, if that's how you want to think, power to you. But and of course the National Guard. Let's move on to the seditious six and their whole claim to, oh, we were just reminding you guys. Who are you to remind them? You're not their higher ups. That's why, well, the FBI is coming down on most of them. They got the military ordering one guy back to damn near stand on military court. So was it really worth it? Of course not. But the funny thing is how they're trying to spin it. And then I don't really think people understand the gravity of what they did. Like, yes, of course, they were trying to advise these guys advise the youth or the military youth advise them to, well, do insubordination or to ignore orders. And it wasn't just that. They were also trying to make the American people believe that the National Guard is committing unlawful orders. Therefore, they will start attacking and going after the National Guard because they did it so well with ICE. And look how well it worked out for them. They were able to demonize ICE to the point where there are people trying to dox them and ruin their lives. They were able to demonize ICE enough to where there are people dropping rocks on them, breaking their forearms with bricks. That's how well they were able to demonize ICE. Who's to say they won't do the same to the military? Because that's the next thing that's going to cause a civil war. If they just start going at it with the National Guard. And that's, I believe it's what's next. Because what else was that for? But to sow doubt in the minds of Americans on what the National Guard is doing in their cities. And they don't ever want to blame their liberal politician or the leftist politician that let all this BS go down, like the high crime, high immigration, like crazy unaffordability. They don't ever want to blame them. They don't. So it is amazing how they just want to come back on us and just be like, oh, well, it's because of Trump and the National Guard. Like, the National Guard is only there because your leadership has failed y'all. And now the same leadership that failed y'all is trying to turn you guys against the people that want the best for you. I mean, there are citizens, right? I mean, there are military, right? They signed up to protect and serve us, to protect and serve us. So don't you think that, so why would you sit there and just think such a duplicitous thing about our servicemen? Just think that they're out there to get you. Like, how can you call yourself pro-American? These are the same people that says, oh, we love the military. Do you? Do you? Do you respect all of our troops? Because you sat there and literally try to paint a whole group of them as if they're following unlawful orders. So what's with that? But all right, now let's get over to Nick Fuentes. Man, look, bro, Nick Fuentes, unless y'all take this man out the game, he's here to stay. Got to get over that one. The man is here to stay. He blew up he blew up for being right about the Trump administration, certain actors in there. He blew up over his coverage on the Iranian conflict with Israel, the whole 12-day war. That's where he blew up. It wasn't about being racist. It was really about political coverage. I mean, we got enough clowns on X doing that, but to do that along with adding great political coverage, and I guess to be a good talker enough to actually gain that type of, I'm real with you, following, that type of audience, I can only be impressed with. I'm not saying I support everything Nick Fuentes say, but I do got to be impressed with the audience that he grew, the base that he grew, and that there's more people subscribing to his ideology than, well, people on the right. And I think that's what the right's not really liking so much, because here's the thing: Nick Fuentes' message is basically holding the right accountable. But for some reason, I mean, this is going to hurt to hear from my MAGA guys, but on our side, it does seem like you try to hold Trump accountable and they're trying to kick you out. You're trying to say certain things about Pam Bondi, Cash Patel effing up, and they're saying, oh, well, you're being disloyal. Oh, well, who do you truly believe? What does that have to do with anything? I should be able to criticize Trump. I should be able to criticize his people in his administration. And here's the thing: I mainly defend them. I spend more time defending these guys than attacking them. But that's just me being fair and calling a spade a spade. When you're effing up, you're effing up. When you're doing well, you're doing well. Pam Bondi, Cash Patel, they're effing up. Scott Bessent, like Tom, I thought I would call him Tom Zoman. Tom Homan, they're doing well. They're doing pretty damn good. There's other guys I can call out as well, but those are the two noticeable ones where we see their work actually coming to fruition. Everybody else we're still waiting on, especially the guy at HUD. So sadly, Nick Fuentes is here to stay because honestly, he's making the youth hold their party accountable. And I guess that's what something that the establishment or the establishment Republicans just hate. They hate to hear it. And they hate to hear it because, let's be real, they're one of the most ardent supporters of Israel. Really, the most ardent supporters, the most vociferous supporters of Israel. They'll dress up in an IDF uniform and come to Congress. That's how much of a supporter they are. So yeah, when you got Nick Fuentes pointing out that on the right and we're seeing it and we don't like it either, what do you think's gonna happen? And then when you sit there and you try to call us anti-Semitic, turning us more against you, what do you think's gonna happen? Or how do you think we're gonna start thinking? What do you think gonna happen to Nick Fuentes? Well, we're going to turn against the pro-Israel image. And let's be real, sometimes you just need a history lesson to go against it. And then, of course, Nick Fuentes just gets bigger. So, I mean, radicalizing his message, guess what? It's only going to make people want to tune into him to see if he really said that. I mean, trying to demonize them and demonizing anybody who talked to him, it's only going to make people want to check out both of them. So, hey, if you're mad that I talked to Nick Fuentes, cry to everybody about it. You're only going to get more eyes on me, and I appreciate you. I do. I do. I'm an appreciative guy. I'm a grateful person. All right, but let's get over here to AOC and Jasmine Crockett. Really just the left in general, because they're going full on socialist, full on leftist, full on anti-American and pro-immigration, and they're just saying F the American people. And just crazy how there's some people that's aligned with this. Like, I was talking to a guy on TikTok, and it was a pretty respectful conversation. He's a liberal, not a leftist, but a full-on liberal. You could tell he's a full-on liberal because he rejects some of the tendencies of the left or some of the policies of his party, and he only stick to the ones that's truly beholden or truly defining of a liberal politician or somebody who's liberal. I had to sit there and be like, yo, man, I'm more liberal. I guess I'm a liberal too, because I agree with the guy. I agree with him a lot, but I'm not a leftist. I think that's what a lot of people forget about MAGA. Like Trump, no, really, MAGA's like, we're just trying to rebirth the 90s Dem. We're just trying to rebirth those guys that was actually speaking out against the corporation, that was speaking out against foreign influence. We're just trying to rebirth those guys and then try to add a little bit with the criticism of Israel, just add a little bit of Israel criticism in there. And we got something great going. But it's getting fucked up, though. Then they fucking it up for us. No, but I already touched on that. But as far as the left goes, guys, I'm gonna be real with you. The actors that they got right now, they're the front runners. AOC, Jasmine Crockett, hey, we may not take them serious, but their base do. Their base takes them serious. So guess what? We gotta take them serious too. And if you don't think that these guys are gonna be running for higher office eventually, well, hey man, hopefully not, but I think you're wrong. And that's just my thoughts on AOC and Jasmine Crockett. And I mean, personal thoughts on ALC is, well, she's a good performer, obviously. I mean, trust me, we just seen a whole video on how she was on the casting couch. And I mean, it kind of makes sense now because she's a really good performer. And I ain't talking about it in that way. So go ahead and get that out your head, my friend. We ain't talking about that.
What did he?
Okay. Okay. Jasmine Crockett, I mean, just like my man Gaming, I don't like her because she just plays fake ghetto and she's the furthest thing from ghetto. Jasmine Crockett is the furthest thing from a ghetto black woman, from a hood black bitch. She's the furthest thing from that. And I know hood black women. I've dated the hoodest of black, well, not the most hoodest black women, but I've dated hood black women. And I love them. And trust me, they are far. Like AOC, that's not a real one. That's not an authentic one. Sometimes you got to know the authentic to call out the fake. And trust me, AOC's a fake hood black bitch. Fake hood black woman. I don't even know why she plays the part. We'd respect her more for being a little bit more presentable with it. You can still have, I guess, the witty comebacks that comes with being a black woman, but you could at least sit there and, I don't know, like talk properly. You don't got to sit there and pop out the ebonics. You ain't got to do us like that. I mean, I can do it because I'm a political, like, basically, I guess I'm just a podcaster. I can do it. I'm held to a lower standard. But as a politician, Jasmine Crockett, and you representing the black community, I would hope you just wouldn't perpetuate all the stereotypes. I would hope you wouldn't do that, but that's exactly what she did. So, tough. It is what it is. And let's be real. The Dems and the neocons and the neoliberals, they're all hurt over Ukraine. Still hurt over this Ukrainian deal. Still talking nonsense as if we can actually do something about Ukraine's land concessions or how some of it will become de facto Russia. There ain't nothing we can do. We tried everything. We literally tried. I mean, everything, but going to war with Russia with boots on the ground. That's what we won't do. But other than that, we tried everything. I'm pretty sure we even helped you guys assassinate Putin that one time when you tried to take him out the air on the plane or on the helicopter. I'm pretty sure we even helped you guys with that. But it still didn't work. So yeah. And the only reason we did this and try to cripple their economy and try to assassinate Putin and pretty much let NATO damn near get involved is because Russia was winning. I'm gonna be real with you. If Ukraine was truly winning the way they was, then why constantly act for support? I mean, why ask for missiles so they can fight on an even playing field than Russia? I mean, why you gotta fight on an even playing field? You're winning somehow, some way, even though you're not fighting on an even playing field and they got missiles and all you got is drones. I mean, I think the common sense of that alone should have exposed a lot, but apparently people are too blind about it. They just want to hate Trump because this is Trump organizing this peace deal and just want to find any reason to poke a hole in it. And it's kind of sad because he is stopping the killing he's pretty much stopping the killing of thousands of Ukrainian men and Russian men. But for some reason, people don't want to see that, and they just want to see Putin bad. We need to go ahead and go to war with Russia for what? Ukraine? I think not. And let's go over to, well, once again, Israel, bro. Can y'all just chill? Like, BB, can you just chill, bro? Just sit. I don't know, bro. Just sit on your trigger finger for like 3 months. 3 months. Let's get through a season without you trying to bomb somebody or trying to bomb some Arabs. Like, can we do that? Can Israel go 3 months without bombing Arabs? Is that even possible? Am I asking too much, guys? I think I'm asking too much because they hit Lebanon under a ceasefire, and they did it. I remember they destroyed Hezbollah's underground bunker, and I was actually okay with that, but I'm like, it still violates the ceasefire. Now they're hitting them again. I'm pretty much unprovoked, without a warning, under the mission of what? Taking out Hezbollah. I'm just like, come on now. You can't break ceasefires over that. And we can't, and I don't know why, but as American people, we can't just make excuses for them every time. Even if it is, it's Hezbollah. I mean, they made a ceasefire. I mean, Israel don't have to, like, I mean, let's be real. The way people expect us, like, American didn't hold their word to Ukraine. Israel didn't hold their word to Lebanon, and it's all good. It's all good. In the name of killing Arabs, it's all good. But I mean, in the name of saving countless white Christians, now it's evil. Now all of a sudden it's all bad. You're capitulating. We're saving Christians, God damn it. Like, what? And I wish we could stop Israel from bombing Lebanon. Could we be saving Muslims too? And I'm with saving people. I love people. I don't hate nobody. And as you can tell by now, like, come on, I'll joke about everybody, but I have no hatred for nobody. And the problem is with Israel, I have no hatred for Jews or Israelis. I just have a hatred for that government and how they move it. Like, they move too recklessly. Their foreign policy is reckless as fuck. They're like the YN of the Middle East. Literally, they're the YNs of the Middle East, shooting up everything, bombing everything, and then asking what you gonna do about it. YN shit, like young nigga shit. And they are a young country, so maybe that's the reason. All right. Maybe that joke was a bit too far. I apologize. All right, but let's get on to the next one. Candace Owens versus France, basically. So yes, France done pretty much put out a hit on Candace Owens, and I wonder what we're gonna do about it. Because really, some people need, what, bro? It needs to be the point where we need to drag this man, Emmanuel Macron, to court, make him stand trial, and damn near put this man in jail. That's how I feel about it. Because I don't know if y'all heard me during the election, but I said, bro, if you touch a hair on any politician's head, from the left or the right, I want you to be in jail for the rest of your life. If you touch a hair on their head, I don't care if it's AOC, Jasmine Crockett, Kamala Harris, you touch a hair on any of those women's, on those girls' heads, I want you in jail. Why? Because they're Americans. I don't really care. I don't care that I disagree with them. I do care about their safety, but that's it. And hey, look, and that's okay for me as an American. That's what how all Americans should feel. We should be okay to disagree with each other and care for each other's safety at the same damn time. It should be that easy. But with this whole thing with France, I'm just looking at it like, all right, so Candace Owens said her life's in danger, a fellow American, and people are trying to gaslight her. Like, instead of hearing her out, y'all just try to gaslight her off the rip. And now that everything's been proven, I hope all those gaslighters are willing to apologize for Candace, because she literally ran to us, into the world, and said, hey, yo, I'm in danger. And we try to gaslight her about it. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck, guys? Like, really? Come on now. And now all this is about to come out as true. And then and then a lot of y'all really gonna look like some assholes. But hey, man, that's up to you. All right. Let me see here if I had anybody. Well, like I said, you can super chat any question, comment, jokes, or disagreements. I guess I'll talk about one more thing before I close it down, though. Because yeah. Let's see here. Well, I guess I can talk about Mandani a bit. Because when it comes to Mandani, I just wish New York the best. I hope he watered down the socialist policies, and I hope that he finds a way to, like I said, water down the socialist policies without causing businesses to flee for the hills or to flee to Florida and Texas. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. As much shit as we talk, we don't want that for you guys. We don't. As much shit as we talk, as much as we tell y'all, get y'all about the F around and find out, we don't want that for you. Like, to be so honest, like, trust me, we disagree with you, but we care what happens to you guys. Like, just being real. All right, though. And then, talk about the Christian genocide. Oh, yes, the Christian genocide in Nigeria by this radical group called Boko Haram. It's a African Muslim group that's out there killing Christians. They've been killing Christians since 2009, about 100K so far. 100K so far since 2009. That's what we've been dealing with. And that's an atrocity. And that's something that, honestly, I'm actually happy. Yo, most unlikely suspect to actually come out and actually come to the White House about this. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj, shout out. I mean, she was a real one. She actually came out there and stood up for Christian Africans. Literally asked Trump to, low, we need you to handle this. We need you to be on top of it. We need you to start sending some threats down there to those bastards to lock that up, like, to get that solved. Because like I said, I hate when bro, I'll be real with you, especially when it's Christians. But yeah, what can I say? Hey, I know I defend Muslims, but Christians, hey, I love Christians more. What can I say? It's a religion I guess I found more of a connection to. And I love Muslims too. And trust me, and I hold that religion in high respect. But what can I say, though? Christianity is where my heart's at. But with that being said, though, bro, no side, no Christian or Muslim side should be demonized. We shouldn't demonize Christian. We shouldn't demonize Muslims. And be real with you, be quite honest. We shouldn't use this situation right here to demonize Muslims. Are we going to say Boko Haram is all Muslims in Africa? Of course not. Are we going to sit here and say that, oh, it's all Muslims that want to kill Christians? Of course not. But this situation do need to be highlighted because mainstream media wasn't covering it. And they gave it like one good gloss over and then, all right, that's all. When there's hundreds of videos all over X of these people being tortured, lynched. Lady was lynched with her kids. I know. I mean, I watch this stuff. Why? Because it's just what I'm interested in. I'm not talking about the snuff videos. I'm just talking about the information. And sadly, the information comes with videos of people being killed. It's very heartbreaking. And this is where I have such a passion towards. I don't want to see nobody dying. I don't want to see videos like this of Christians being killed. I don't want to see videos of Palestinians being bombed. I don't want to see none of it. I want for a peaceful world. But guess what? It's a pretty complicated world, and it gets more complicated as these atrocities go on, because all it does is sow more hatred for a certain group. And I wish we'd get past that. We would stop framing an entire group of people as if all of them act like that, because we would all sit there and be also offended if everybody pretended like, oh well, Christians are all just like the KKK. They're all the KKK. They're all white identitarians. Y'all want everybody gone. Is that true? Of course not. But can you imagine if everybody framed Christians like that? I mean, well, that's what we do to Muslims. We ain't got no problem with it for some reason. Don't know why, don't understand it, but it's just our, I don't know, just the way we think, or just the propaganda that's been fed to us. I already ran off on my rant about how I hated that guy who came out there protesting Islam in Dearborn, Michigan, holding up the Quran, slapping bacon against that. Like, bro, you're literally insinuating, you're literally trying to incite violence. That's complete disrespect of their culture. And why even do that? Because he literally hates Muslims. He literally hates those people. It's like, and if it was about just the religion, then why are you sitting there trying to disrespect the people? Because you know the people are connected to this religion, just like there's people connected to Christianity, there's people connected to Muslims. But for some reason, we don't humanize the Muslims the same way we can humanize Christians. And for some reason, Christians feel like, oh, well, and here's a common excuse. Here's a common excuse, though. Well, set. Would they let the Christians speak in their country? And I will tell you right now, no, they won't. But that's up to them. To be quite honest with you, it's about just honestly respecting other people. And that's something I guess we just lost. Respecting other countries and their culture. If they don't want Christians in there, but they let them live there, because they do live there, they just don't let them preach like that. So if they let them live there, then that should be enough for us. I mean, yes, they come over here because we have freedom of religion. Other countries don't share that. And I think we should understand that, as you know, as Americans, that other Christians do not share the glorious document that is the Constitution that we have. So they don't got freedom of religion. Some of these guys are ran by straight up monarchs. And we're trying to tell them about freedom of speech. When did freedom of speech ever exist to the side of monarch? And the thing is, I don't like when we get involved in these countries, because I feel like these countries can evolve on their own. Give it enough time, they'll get to a constitutional republic if they know it's good for them. But if we keep interfering in their politics, causing coups, they're always going to be like this. Somalia's always going to be in dysfunction as long as we're over there bombing them. I mean, so is all the other Arab countries. There do got to be a point where we honestly do take accountability for the reckless bombing of the Middle East and why a lot of these countries are in dysfunction. Here's a more important part. We bomb them into dysfunction, and then we call them low IQ for not being able to get out of the dysfunction we bomb them into. I mean, how disrespectful is that? But then again, how disrespectful is it for them to come over here, come with their religion with a radical view, and then try to sit there and what? Speak jihadism, bring Sharia law? I don't like that either. I think they need to get the hell out. But guess what? I understand it ain't all of them. And like I said, I understand that all the people who hate Muslims, that ain't all MAGA. That ain't all white people. But guess what, though? For some reason, we just don't have that same understanding for our Arab brothers or the African brothers. And that's where it's going to lead to. It's going to lead to a hatred for African and Arabs, because we're Muslims, African and Arabs. So, like I said, the hatred of Islam is unproductive. The disrespecting of their prophet, unproductive. And it's like, come on, bro. Come on. You wouldn't like if somebody disrespected Jesus in your face and you'd be ready to fight. Y'all do the same thing in these guys' faces, and you're expecting them to just be like, oh, all right, it is what it is. No, that's just not the way it works, buddy. It's them, they're like, we're acting like liberals when it comes to that conversation, in my personal opinion. It's like we're acting like liberals. We're not really like honestly walking in reality when we think it's okay just to disrespect an entire religion. Call the prophet a pedophile without the historical context of marriage practice in that day. I'm gonna be real, just like the main, like it's like when I was watching PBD, and I like them, But they are too hard on Muslims to the point where they'll sit there on their podcast, bring up all the most anti-Muslim guys, but they never bring up one Muslim to defend them. And I know what you're saying, well, because they can't defend themselves. Yes, they can. Apparently, PBD just don't want to hear them. Then you got guys like Vinny that will call their whole prophet a pedophile. And I'm just like, dog, how is that even productive to do? Like, that's honestly causing division. And then you're trying to make it frame like all these people worship a pedophile when if you go with the times of that day, then nah, he wouldn't be considered a pedophile because everybody was marrying girls around that age. Like it or not. Shit. I'd even say in American past, we got some guys that was doing that. Hey, and they ain't calling no ages in the Bible, so who knows if they were if some of the guys in there was doing that as well. It's kind of really weird to me and historically inaccurate when we sit there and have that judgment for a man that just grew up in that time where that was normal. I don't know. I don't get it. But hold on, guys. Here, I'm over here sweating like a pastor right now. So give me like a quick 30 seconds.
And they're cheap. They're like $10,000 to $20,000 per drone. They were also shooting those over there because every one of those drones that cost $10,000 to $20,000, the Israelis had to spend like $1 million or $2 million just to shoot that shit down. So the math clearly ain't mathing. One guy spending 10 to 20K over here. The Israelis are spending millions over here. Clearly, this can't keep going. That is why, my friends.
All right. I'm back. But yeah, like I said, I don't like the hatred. I don't like hating nobody. You can never really convince me to hate nobody. Man, he's like, never. And I mean, like, bro, here's the thing. You know what the crazy thing is? It's funny how like a lot of the Jewish guys will hop on this when in the Talmud, it literally says you could do whatever to a 3-year-old. Can you imagine being one of the main religions speaking out against Islam for pedophilic actions when in one of your holy books it literally says you can consummate with 3-year-olds? I mean, the only innocent religion at this point, if we're going on that, would be Christianity. And that's because they just wasn't calling out no ages. So that's just that. And like I said, we should have an understanding of historical context within that time. I mean, it's not really fair to call a guy a pedophile past what BC, past like 1 AD. Like we're really gonna call that guy a pedophile for what something that everybody was doing back in the day? Like that was just common practice. Nobody thought of it. There was no morality check on it. Nothing. I'm glad we evolved out of that. Don't get me wrong. Trust me, I ain't for that. But in all fairness, to call the prophet out for that, to call Muhammad out for that, I think it's a bit childish and it's lacking historical reference, to be real with you, because that's what everybody was doing back then. I mean, shit, even Christians were doing that back in the day. So I'm just a little baffled on how y'all can just sit there and judge them for it. I mean, what did Jesus say? What was it? Something about don't cast a rock if he who sins, don't cast a rock or something like that. I know I butchered it completely, but y'all get my point. I know y'all do. But hey, I'm weak. He said Muhammad tried to make some other people pedophiles. I said, no, he didn't. That's what I'm saying. And then y'all going off of stuff y'all ain't never read it. Ain't never read the Quran. Ain't never read it in full context. But then will sit there and try to say, oh, we try to make other people pedophiles. Bro, you know, in that context, like I said, in the context of history, basically you're trying to get other people married off to be married and build families. And like I said, in the context of history, like that's what everybody was doing back in the day. So like I said, you're being historically dishonest with people when you sit there and try to say he's a pedophile as if this man's in like what? Like the 1950s, or like if this Muhammad was walking around in the 1950s or something. Like, or like, let's be quite honest. And this is where we started getting this 18-year-old stuff. Thank God, by the way. But yes. So treating this man like he was walking around among us in recent times is historically inaccurate. And it's not really being fair. But it is what it is. Like I said, y'all gonna say what y'all want to say. Y'all gonna say what y'all want to say. And like I said, there's still marriage, and actually there is still child marriages practiced today, but that's not all Muslims. Actually, those are certain cultures of Muslims that completely follow the prophet in that manner. Said, all right, cool. Well, if he was able to marry a 9-year-old, so can I. And they're wrong for that. And other Muslims called them out for that. Y'all know that, right? That other Muslims called these guys out for the marriage of children. It's not just us. I would hope you would know that. It's very important to me that you know this. that there are other Muslims that speak out against the cultural practice of some Muslims, because it's not all Muslims that practice that, not all Muslims that believe that's okay. I hope we know this. Just like there's different denominations of Christianity, and you guys can get that through your head. I would hope you understand that there are cultures that practice Islam differently, just like there's cultures who practice Christianity differently, or there's different denominations. I honestly, I just don't get how we just can't try to relate to them. We understand it, but we're choosing hatred. We're choosing opposition. We're choosing to be dishonest about it. Why? Because you just want to hate Muslims for some strange reason. Because you believe that they're about to take over your country. 1% of them is going to take over your country somehow, some way. Through what? Outbirthing y'all? If that's the case, that's y'all fault. That's our fault if that happens. Like, if they're having more babies than us in our own country and they're ignoring the affordability problem, that's on us. And I know it's fucked up to say, because you give me with S.E.T, the affordability problem. I know they're living under it too. They're living under it too, and they're still having more kids than us. I mean, and even the ones that love America, they have more kids than us. It's like this shit. It's not even just the radical ones or the ones that still that are still a little bit too caught up in their home country. It's even the Americanized ones that do it. So if you're talking about a Muslim takeover, it almost sounds like you're a eugenist, that you just don't want these guys to have kids. And I mean, bro, why don't you have more kids than them? You will never have to worry about a Muslim takeover because they'll never outnumber you. And then, of course, it's the dishonesty of it, saying, oh, did they say it? They say it. The radical Muslims say it. And what have I been preaching? That's not all Muslims. When you guys sit there and say that, oh, they're planning on taking over the United States. Yeah, you got some radicals that think that, but are all Muslims thinking that? Actually, believe it or not, there's probably about maybe like what? 5%, and that's being generous. I honestly believe it's 1%, but I'll be generous to you guys and say 5% of Muslims actually want to think that in America, too. In America. Because you know how unreasonable it sounds to just for them just to outpopulate us within what? How long is this going to take? And trust me, you ain't going to be around for it if that's the case. If we're waiting for them to outpopulate us, dog, you got about 20 years then. We got to wait for the kids to grow up. So we got a while then. And if you don't want that to happen, then you better start popping out them babies too. Because guess how much kids they have on average? About what? 4 to 5? Some places I heard 7 to 8 on average. So if you don't want to get taken over, man, you better start popping out those babies and stop complaining. But guess what? I guess I'm on your side about affordability and all that good stuff. But if it's about a Muslim takeover, I mean, we could do something about it without having to completely radicalize the entire group as if all of them is trying to take us over. And that's just a dishonest way of, really painting an image of Muslims. That's just a dishonest way of doing it. But hey, I know there's gonna be people that gonna be mad at me for saying what I'm saying about Muslims and all this good stuff. Pretty much saying that, oh, S.E.T, you're so wrong for wanting to just be peaceful and work things out with Muslims. You should believe the radical ideology. You should believe the radical idea that are just trying to take you over. Have y'all even met a Muslim? To be quite honest, have y'all? Because I don't think some of y'all have, if you have this extreme rhetoric about them, especially a Muslim in America. I'm talking about Muslims in America. Majority of them do not feel that way. And it's actually funny because you know what's so funny about Dearborn, Michigan? I get the outrage about it. But if we're going to be outraged about Dearborn, Michigan, and y'all want to break that up so bad, I mean, what about all these Hispanic communities that you can speak just Spanish in and get around in? Isn't that kind of like the same thing? You know, all the restaurants, all that. It's the same thing. But it's all good though, like I said, because they're Christians. So it's all good for the takeover. You know, it could be Mexicans and it could be Haitians. It could be anybody as long as they're Christians. It just can't be the Muslims that outbirth you guys, right? Right? Okay. I was just, I was just wondering. I was just wondering, does it matter? Because the Mexicans are doing it faster than the Muslims. Let's be honest. If you really want to talk about which like the group of people is really taking over, it's the Mexicans. We're over here worried about 1% of Muslims. So it is kind of funny. I'm sorry. I'll stop laughing because some of you guys really do take this seriously, and I'm joking too much about it. So I do apologize. But yeah, it do seem like a lot of these guys are afraid of a Muslim takeover when 1% of the population. I mean, if you want to talk about takeover, shoot. I mean, the Mexicans are the ones if you really want to worry about if that's the case. But hey, they're Christians, so I guess you guys will get down with the get down. It happens. And I don't like it, bro. I don't like this as a MAGA conservative thing because I don't think we should ever lead through hatred. Like, that's just ain't it. And right now, people like Laura Loomer, they're leading through hatred. They're leading through bigotry of Muslims. And I'm always going to turn away from that. I mean, just like people want to try to lead through the bigotry or the hatred of Christians. I'm never going to like that. Like, there's just people who lead through bigotry and some people don't catch it because it honestly makes them feel good about where they stand. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I gotta hate somebody to feel good about my position, I don't think I'm in the right anymore than if that's the case. If you gotta sit there and convince me to hate Muslims to make me feel right, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna feel that way. You can't get me to hate anybody because I try to understand people. And usually if you hate somebody, you don't understand them. You don't. You don't read their books. You don't really get involved in their culture. You don't really know too much of them. So you usually hate what you don't understand. And that just seems to be consistent throughout life. You hate what you don't understand. Mm-mm-mm. But all right. I know. Some of y'all are going off in there going like, this man defending the goddamn Muslims. Yes, I am. Because I'm not a hateful person, but I'm still a conservative. I'm still MAGA. You can't tell me I'm not. But the reason why, because we just sat down grilling the liberals for a minute. I play videos where I've even called out the Islamist radicals and said, yo, these guys need to go. But you will never see me sit here and demonize all Muslims. You will never see me sit here and disrespect the prophet, or Jesus or the Muhammad. Not the Messiah or a prophet. None of them you'll never see me do. Why? Because we should have more respect for people than that. But apparently we've lost that somewhere in MAGA when it came to the Muslims. And that's just unproductive. It really is. And it turns away a lot of people. Trust me, not just Muslims. If you don't think this turns away a lot of people, this blatant bigotry, man, yeah, trust me, you ain't gonna like it. I mean, this whole like blanket hatred of Muslims is why people don't like Laura Loomer. Like, believe it or not, they don't like her because she's just such a big towards Muslim, because everything is Muslims. Like, what? Like, what? When it's Israel that got way more control than the Muslims do. If I'm be real with you, if I'm more concerned about anybody, it's AIPAC. It's the Israeli lobby. It's those guys. I'm more concerned about those guys than I could ever be more concerned about Muslims because they don't really hold no real power. Like a couple of Congress seats ain't really much. And trust me, the guys that are on these congressional seats as Muslim, guess what? They will be voting in the favor of Israel most likely as well. Some of them already do. So who am I supposed to be more concerned about? The guys that don't hold any power for real, or the guys that hold all the power? Who am I supposed to be more concerned about? Kind of seems like this is deflection. Like, no, don't worry about this side. Worry about the side that don't got really any power. Worry about the Muslims. What about you guys? Like, you guys damn near control the government. You damn near running the Middle East into a war zone. I mean, shouldn't I be worried about the guys over there instead of the guys who are just trying to live their life in Dearborn, Michigan? It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm sorry for going on such a rant about it. Hopefully, I didn't piss y'all off too much. Oh, man. He said, what hatred? It's about the doctrine of Islam. You just don't understand the issue. Yeah, I do. Said you're kind, sound, and petty, bud. You kind of sound petty. How do I sound petty? I'm just being real with you guys. I think it's a bit petty that you're taking 1% of Muslims, you're taking a small percent of Muslims and framing it as everybody. Isn't that petty? Isn't that just kind of petty getting mad at one person and then say it's all of them? And then there's one guy, like I said, I could do this. Hey, when it comes to grilling these guys, I could do it all night because I can grill bigots all night. I ain't got no problem with it. I'm not calling you a bigot. Like, I'm not calling you a bigot, damaging, but the guy above you, the bong, he's kind of one. It's the doctrine of Islam. No, it's not. It's not. You read what radicalists wrote, and then you claim that is all of Islam because it's only the radicals who believe that. The doctrine of Islam, which you're talking about, is not the doctrine of full-on Islam. It's not what all the Islams follow. Like I said, you take what the radicals say and then you run with it like it's all of Islam. That's the problem with a lot of you guys. I mean, and here's the thing, the Dems do this to you guys all day. If you're black, they do it to you all day. So it's kind of funny how some of y'all could fall into this. They take the 1% of my kind all the time and paint me as that guy. That's why I can feel for the Muslims, because I've been there. I mean, come on now. I think Christians, MAGA, they all paint you as a bunch of effing hillbillies, but we're not. Y'all should understand this more than anybody. But here we are doing the same thing that they do to us. And then think we in the right. And think we in the right. Ain't that crazy? And it is what it is. But hey, I'll chat you guys tomorrow, man. You know I love having these conversations with you. You know I like listening to these conversations. Yeah. But let me see here. Is there anything that really worth talking to in here? Well, who cares? Fuck Islam. I mean, no, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, you can say fuck Islam, just don't go harassing those people. Like I say, your feelings with Islam is cool, but if you want to go ahead, set sounds like a Hamid. Oh God, I'm weak. I'm weak. Like I said, man, just because I'm defending a group of people, like I would defend any group of people that's having, I'm be real with you, this nonsensical like hatred going on towards them. Like I said, you guys are talking about radical Muslim, painting them as that's all of them, and anything you guys reference is only stuff that radicalists brought up. This is not what your modern day Muslim is thinking. This is not what all of them think. This is not a collective mindset that they have. And y'all know this though, but y'all know this. I don't gotta explain it to you. All right. Anyway, I'm weak. I'm weak. No, you don't understand, Set, because you just don't hate Muslims. If Set, you do not understand, you're not enlightened if you don't have hatred in your heart for Muslims. You see how y'all sound? Guys, you gotta understand. I believe in the teachings of Jesus. I can't be a hateful person. Like, that's everything the man spoke against, is being a hateful person. Like, sorry, I just can't do it. I mean, you can, and that's fine, but I can't. I just can't sit there and hate anybody like the way you guys can, and that's fine. Like I said, do what y'all do, but I'm always gonna correct you guys when you're misinformed, especially when it comes to these people that you guys just want to hate for no reason other than the fact that Laura Loomer told you to. Hey. Like I said, like there's a lot in Dearborn, Michigan. Yes, and there's a lot of Mexicans in San Francisco and LA, but you ain't crying about that. I mean, you ain't crying about all those illegals, right? It's all about the Muslims. That's what's so crazy, bro. It's so crazy. It's like you claim, but the poly shows differently. The poly? What poly? What polls? What polls over Muslim jihadism? What, they all came to a voting? They all voted on it? Show me. If all Muslims voted on the jihadists, I'll take back what I said right now, and I'll be like, all right, guys, yeah, you know what? F the Muslims. They're all in the same radical doctrine, but they're not. And you can't show me nothing on that. All you can see here is do is just try to shame me. And that's the only tactic you got. No facts. Just regurgitating radical Islamists and then thinking that's all Islam. Sorry, but yeah, you can't radicalize me this way. And you can't make me hate Mexicans. You can't make me hate Muslims. You can't even make me hate Jews. As much shit as I talk, yeah, I don't hate nobody. So I'm not even understanding why y'all trying to sow hatred in me. Just they said, but you gotta hate the Muslims to be enlightened. You gotta hate Muslims to be truly MAGA. Then I guess I was never truly MAGA. Guess I was never truly conservative, guys. I guess that's it, is what it is. I just can't hate the Muslims, guys. I guess that's why I just can't get to it. Oh man, ain't that funny? Because you are afraid to destroy your delusion. My delusion over what? Everything I said was straight facts. What delusion? Of barely the 1% of Muslim that y'all crying about? Since the fact that you guys are trying to bastardize a guy who lived in the times of child marriage? What am I missing here? What delusion? I'm calling out the facts and y'all don't like it. And the reason I'm so hard on you guys about this is because I low-key want to talk it out of you. I'm low-key trying to talk the bigotry out of you, and it's all good, though. You ain't got to accept it. We can agree to disagree on this. But I'm just giving you my honest opinion. I'm never going to hear it. You guys can show me all the radical Islamists. You can show me all the Christian guys that want to go against the Muslims. And you guys can be the future crusaders if you want to. But not even the crusaders was all the way in the right. If you're saying it's okay to go around killing people in the name of Christians in the name of spreading Christianity, that's wrong. And I'll say it's wrong for them to go out and spread Islam and spill blood on the name of Islam. It's wrong. But it's kind of funny how there's now people who's going to, oh, well, the Crusaders kind of had something going there. They were in the right. No, they weren't. Both sides weren't in the right and both sides were wrong. It's crazy how you're even trying to justify killing people for Christianity is right. But you'll sit there and you'll be like, oh, but the Muslims spread around. They was killing people. Yeah, and that was wrong too. So what the hell you look like co-signing it? Man. See, Crusaders were the right. That's what I'm saying. It's like the double standard. And I love it. Because y'all low-key expose yourselves. Oh, man. Man. And shout out to this girl right here, man. That's okay. Come on to the left where you have freedom of religion and racism isn't woven into politics and not supported by. I'm good over here on the right because I love where I like that we're actually awakening to this stuff. Because I'm going to call it out and I'm going to remove these guys from the party. I'm going to make sure that none of these guys' ideology, none of this bigotry even makes it into the next election cycle. Why? Because it's unproductive and it's only going to destroy us and it only makes us more divisive. Shoot, y'all turning against me for speaking out a religion that done nothing to you. What has Islam done to hurt you in your personal life? Unless you are an army guy, I ain't trying to hear it. Unless you are gaming, I ain't trying to hear it. That's reasonable. And he was still dealing with a radical group. So I can't even sit there and say and hear what he's saying sometimes because you were dealing with radicals. And that's not all Muslims. And he will accept that too. But trust me, I know gaming. He doesn't like it. He doesn't like the takeover of Dearborn and all that good stuff. And I get that. But still not a good reason to sit there and just demonize all of Islam. Just not a good idea. And I'll be real with you. You're playing into the left. Like the lady's right. You're playing into this. You guys are playing in. When she can leave a comment like this, she's right, though. You guys are playing into it. Right now, the left is looking a little bit more American than you guys. I thought it was about freedom of religion. But now all of a sudden, you're like, no, it's about the Christian religions. You got to understand it's about different dominations of religion. That one of our founding fathers had a fucking Quran. What are you talking about? That's the problem. That is a problem. It's like straight up bigotry being sown into this community, and I don't like it. I'm going to call it out. And until it's gone, I'm going to continue calling it out. Until these guys are scrubbed under the rug, I'm going to call them out. Like Laura Loomer. Until Laura Loomer is finally shown for the crazy lunatic that she is, I'm going to call that woman out. Because she's one of the main people trying to sow hatred for Muslims. When it's low-key her group that has all the control in America, that has all the control in our politics, all the control in media, but then yet we're worried about Muslims who have no control, basically, compared to the other group. But we talk about them, oh, you're wrong, you're anti-Semitic. But if I talk about the Muslim, that's right, Set. Keep on going, bro. Make sure to get your MAGA hat when you're doing it. What the fuck? What the fuck? Man, hey, look, man, MAGA wouldn't kick me out for defending Islam, so be it. I will still preach my conservative ways, and I'll still vouch for the policies that I agree with on the right and the one that I agree with on the left. Hey, if this guy, I always say I'm center right. No, center right means I ain't all the way with these guys on whatever everything the right preaches, and I ain't all the way with these guys, especially what the left preaches. But you know what? I can respect the left for this. One, they don't try to radicalize Muslims. But let's be real though, they're also the ones kind of letting them in. So you do gotta give out that caveat. But I've never really seen the left have a hatred of any race. Only in the right now, we're trying to develop a hatred for Arabs or Muslims or whatever. Like only on our side. Why is that? I thought we're supposed to be better than them. We're over here picking up bigotry. I mean, they hate you for your political ideology, not because of the color of your skin and what you practice. What the fuck? We're supposed to be better than that.